I spent 167 hours 100%ing Destiny 2 in 2026 for only $30 from the 2025 Humble Bundle, The Story So Far. So let's find out. Is it worth 100%ing in 2026? This is simply a review on 100%ing the Steam achievements and not on Destiny 2 as a whole. I have a problem. I have a growing list of games in my Steam account that are being added to my 100% completion folder. Today I'm going to walk you through my thoughts on the newest edition. My friend Shu had been telling me about Destiny 2 since late 2019. My main reason for not getting involved was how much it cost to get the game's DLCs, which would be needed for the achievements as well as for the bulk of the activities you can do in the game. So when he saw this Humble Bundle, he sent it straight over to me and I bought it and we got started. So in this video I'm going to go over whether or not this was worth it, or if it was a big ol' waste of time. So what are the best achievements in this game? Show me what you got. This is an achievement for completing the Light Reforged quest, which is the, at least when I started playing Destiny 2 in mid-2025, the tutorial to the game. It's a long 27-part tutorial that teaches you everything you need to know, introduces you to some key characters and takes you to different planets and through a variety of different types of missions. This was enjoyable, and due to the difficulty of figuring out what to do once the character was created, it was nice to have this initial guidance. Wishing for the best. You get this achievement for completing the Last Wish raid, which was a very long 6-man event. Now, me and Shu got very lucky with this, and we had 4 very nice random people, all with mics, walking us through what to do and when to do it. This raid made us maximize our loadouts, it has us doing all different kinds of puzzles, and I think this raid, which is the only raid that I completed, was a really solid example of the brilliant things that a game like this can pull off with a group of people. Thoroughly loved it. Now for the worst achievements. Darkness Falls. This is for defeating a Forsaken Nightfall boss, and the single reason as to why this game took me a little under a year to 100%. Destiny 2, in its state for the past year, has only had 2 Nightfalls that contain a Forsaken boss. These are called the Corrupted and Warden of Nothing. How Nightfalls work is every day there is a new one, and there is some kind of rotation that I never really understood. But I can tell you the exact days in a whole year where you could get this achievement. August 25th, 2025. I was logged in and saw the Nightfall was the Corrupted, and I eagerly hopped on and played it. We get stuck at a point in the palace with 2 ogres for about an hour, and at which point I give up and start googling, and it turns out this Nightfall has been incompletable for years, unless you know how to jump around the outside of the map and skip it. This meant I missed this. September 24th, 2025, I happened to be out of town. Missed it. December 5th, 2025, happened to be out of town. Missed it. April 19th, 2026, I checked the Nightfall and my brain blanked, and I missed it. May 16th, I complete this achievement. Bear in mind, I checked the Nightfall every single day. Fortunately, by this time, Bungie had fixed the Corrupted Nightfall, and I was able to get this as my second to last achievement. Bugs. Now, I have a good computer and good internet connection, but I would regularly disconnect from the servers, whether I was hanging out at the tower or in the final boss of a mission, and I would get kicked to orbit, and then immediately be able to log back in, and it was generally a rather 50-50 as to whether or not it would let me continue on from where I was or not. While going for the Legends Grow achievement, I found myself completing a lot of strikes, and the one that stands out was the Inverted Spire, which I was never able to complete due to a bug that simply wouldn't spawn the final boss. I tried this several times over the course of a month, and each time ran into the same issue of the boss just not spawning. Exotic, the Life Exotic, and Exotic Journey. All of these achievements popped at just completely random portions throughout my gameplay. I can read what it says under the achievements, but genuinely have no idea how they actually popped, as the Exotic popped while I only had 7 Exotics total on my account, and the others were usually after I returned to the tower after completing missions where an Exotic wasn't a reward. So they could just be severely delayed achievements, or just different than what their description is. Final verdict. I played about 40 hours duo, 20 hours trio, and then 100-ish hours solo. The campaign, I think, is best enjoyed with friends who also want to listen to the stories. The storylines are engaging and entertaining. I only paid $30 for 10 DLCs, although some of those I guess are unplayable. The gunplay is some of the best I've ever experienced in a game. I would compare it to Halo Infinite or even the 2019 Call of Duty Modern Warfare. There's a ton of things to do in this game, and for sure a game you could spend hundreds of hours in. I would not recommend going for 100% in this game unless you're going to play the game anyway. It's not going to be a quick 100% at all, but if you already own the game, the achievements really are just for playing the game. I would absolutely advise that you wait for some kind of Humble Bundle to get all the DLCs, especially since they just recently announced that their last major update is going to be in June 2026, and Humble Bundle seems to have a Destiny 2 bundle each year, as currently on Steam, all the content would cost you $600, and I wouldn't personally even recommend $60. I think $30 was a comfortable price. Final scores. Difficulty, 6 out of 10. The hardest part of the game would be the raids, but once you learn them, you also then have 5 other people to lean on to assist, and being able to respawn throughout the raids is very forgiving. And then the regular game, you kind of just breeze past everything. Grind, 2 out of 10. There really was only one achievement that could be considered a grind, and even that you had the opportunity to just about do any content in the game that you wanted. If you got bored of PvP, you can do some hidden sectors. If you got bored of that, you can do a raid. If that's boring, you can do some gambit or look for hidden caches or play through a campaign. So while there was a bit of a grind in terms of needing 5k points and also figuring out what you were locked out of based on what content you purchased, the actual gameplay was varied enough to keep the score low. Fun, 6 out of 10. This is because the gameplay was brilliant. I enjoyed the guns, I enjoyed the story, I enjoyed the public events, but unless I was playing the game with friends on Discord, it always just felt a little empty, and even though I might see 6 other players killing enemies with me on the moon, I wasn't interacting with them. The campaign solo was just not as enjoyable. 6 out of 10 is still above average, and I would recommend that people give this game a try, as the game itself is free to play, but it's just not a game that I would rave to my friends about, but more of a soft, yeah, it was alright. So that's it. That's my 100% completion review of Destiny 2. There will be more reviews to come. Like and subscribe if you're interested in game reviews from the perspective of someone playing to 100% them. Thanks much and have a good day. Bye-bye.
I'm glad it's still right where it's supposed to be.